3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 713. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, no XV. He's not here. He's on assignment. Wasn't feeling great today. But we do have Rob Clay. Rob, how's it going?
Not too bad, I suppose.
We have Diecast.
I'm here.
Are you any closer to moving down here, though?
No.
Okay.
As of right now, no.
We'll get on it. We have Matt. All 217 acres. Was that the number?
214.
214. Dang.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Roughly.
We have Don.
Hello.
And John Luna.
Don has a lot of acres, too.
He does. They're green acres. It's a place to be.
I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with a girlfriend and cat. This is my magnificent surroundings. This is my Ponderosa. Enjoy.
I love Ponderosa.
Hasn't been one of those around here for like 30 years, I don't think.
When Don first came on the show, would we think that he would be the first one to have a live-in girlfriend? I mean, 3 of us were married, 4 of us didn't count, but I didn't think it would happen. But here we are.
I never thought I'd have a girlfriend. I figured I'd die alone in this apartment. No one's more shocked than I am.
Well, I figured you'd have a girlfriend, but the live-in part is,
I was betting on Chris. I lost the bet.
Yeah, you lost that bet, like the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus bet before CharterCon 2015 that never happened.
I'm still kind of shocked that never happened.
Yeah. Oh, I lost the Unicron bet. I still need to get that I need to get the whatever it was. Snap trap sent to you. Need to get somebody to color that in Unicron colors. Looks like you'll get your actual Unicron before that happens, but it'll happen. Okay, so let's see here. Hey, so last week we said that the Toy Fair not happening this weekend, like it has for the last many years. We do a live Toy Fair stream every year. It's like the best day that we have in our lives, at least those of us whose lives are consumed by toys. But we are still going to have the live stream. We'll invite some folks on just like we do, and we'll talk. We'll figure out something. It's just sort of a fun way to get together and chat with folks that we don't talk to that often. Usually we do that about new toys. Now we'll just have to do it about old toys, but it'll be fun. We might branch out and talk about some other stuff, non-Transformers things. We used to do that quite a bit for Toy Fair. So it'll just be a chance to have some fun. So the date officially for that is March 6th, 2021. It'll start around 12 noon Eastern, and it'll go, who knows, usually goes about 4, 5, or 6 hours. I don't know without Toy Fair if it'll go that long this year, but who knows. At some point this year, maybe we should do like the big 24-hour game stream that we did that one time. That was a lot of fun. What is that charity called?
Extra Life?
Extra Life. We did that. That was fun. I would love to do that again. Who knows? We'll see.
Do you have a PS5 yet, Brian?
No, I don't have a PS3. I have never, as far as I know, I have never actually played a PS3 or a PS4.
Oh, okay. The not having a PS4 was implied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've even touched the controller for either of those. Not that I'm against Sony. I'm not. It's just I ended up getting a Xbox 360, and I just never needed a PlayStation 3. And then I got an Xbox One because I wanted a 4K Blu-ray player and just didn't need PS4. So, but we could do something. I don't have a graphics card right now. I'm between graphics cards, and I learned that because of COVID, you can't buy graphics cards. So normally I'm churning out 4 streams for the podcast, plus encoding the video for a local recording that we put up on the Roku channel. Now I'm sending a stream to a laptop And the laptop's doing all the streaming out to all the services because I don't want to crash this computer. So my graphics card died. I'll have to figure out something. Maybe it'll just be an excuse to get a new computer that already has a graphics card.
You should just mine cryptocurrency.
I did that for a while.
That much power.
I did it with the old. No, I did it with this graphics card, but that's not what. Maybe that's what killed it. That was years ago. I need to go back in my wallet and see how much money I have in there, but I don't know how to get into it.
Apparently, it's getting more profitable now.
Oh, the demand on it's going up.
Yeah.
I don't know if the profitability of mining is any better than it was because that takes up so much juice. But
well, I read an article that, not to get too off track, but I read an article where people are buying a particular laptop with a graphics card in it and just setting them up on shelves just to do that mining.
Yeah, and they make specialized systems now where the processor is designed specifically for that kind of work. And it's basically like a cryptocurrency appliance that people buy. I don't know much about it, but, you know. Yeah, I don't think I could make much with my old GTX 1080. Gotta say, it feels weird saying old because I bought that in 2016, and it's still pretty good, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about toys.
Yes.
Let's see here. Only a couple items to talk about news-wise this week. And one, see, it's up on T-Formers. It's a photo. I guess it's a leak. It was shown on Weibo. It's a photo of what looks like a box of movie masterpiece Bumblebee Optimus Prime. And let's see if I can get this to show.
It looks fake to me.
It looks fake to me too, but it only makes sense that they would do that.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that that doesn't exist yet. So that's the thing about it that I want to tend to believe it.
I mean, what else have they left to do in the movie?
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff they haven't done, but that's a big one that they haven't hit. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. You don't have your mud flapping skids. We got to have our mud flapping skids. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, something just looks off about the packaging, and I can't put my finger on it. Let me compare Ironhide's packaging, which I happen to have right here.
Yeah, so, I mean, I look at it, and there's a lot of empty space on the box. The design. Show it off if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll show it off real quick.
It's got the similar blue flash in the back. This could easily... I mean, look, the quality of the photo is really low. It looks like it was taken on an ancient camera phone, which that would be good to, hide any imperfections. But you got to think this is happening sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind seeing another that Bumblebee movie Optimus looks good, and I've got a good-looking third-party version. But the regular studio series wasn't bad, but it wasn't very sturdy. It's like when I picked it up, I compared it to Siege Optimus. Siege Optimus is the Bumblebee movie Optimus, the studio series one.
Uh-huh.
It looked good, but it wasn't a very sturdy figure.
Studio series 38.
I can't remember the number. It was the Bumblebee movie Optimus one.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, because I got it not long after I got Siege Optimus, and in truck mode it does not snap together real tightly. It's very fiddly. It's like if you grab it by the cab, stuff starts just popping loose.
Paladin saying that goes for a lot of money now, and it should go into Bumblebee.
That would make sense. It's just I wouldn't mind getting another version of that mold if the masterpiece actually had the QC and it was a lot sturdier because of the extra materials in there.
So I'm looking at sold listings. So a loose one went for $28. So that's like right at retail. Here's one that went for $60. Here's one that went for $80.
$80?
Yeah, $65 here for another loose one. $60, $50 for a loose one. $60, $40. It's all over the place. $89. What? From Hong Kong at that. And showing it in US dollars. That is so weird. Yeah, that's all over the place. That's ridiculous. Yeah, Hasbro definitely needs to do that one in Buzzworthy Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Any other thoughts on that?
I haven't seen a lot of the other movie masterpiece boxes. I've kind of haven't paid enough attention to those. Do they all have vehicle maker logos on them like Ironhide does, or are there some with big empty spaces on the top of the box like that Optimus Prime has?
They all have that. The thing that makes
Megatron.
me think it's fake
Uh-huh.
is if I look at Ironhide's packaging, the movie masterpiece, there's a little bit of space in between that and the character, photo. His head is almost right up at the movie masterpiece, and the photo does not look like it would need to be that long. So there's going to be too much open space down at the bottom. So something doesn't seem right about the placement of the photo for Optimus Prime on that, unless the truck mode is gigantic and taking up the whole bottom. Because here's Ironhide, just to show it off again, and you can see the truck mode down at the bottom. But look how much space there is between his head and the movie masterpiece line. There's like a bunch of room, unless they don't need the room because of the GMC logo. There's no logo that they're going to need for Prime. But I don't know. It just looks a little off to me.
Yeah. I don't know. It might be real, but I would sure want to see more pictures to know that.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of itching. I wish. So back when we were affiliated directly with T-Formers, we're still friends with Jack and T-Formers, but we're not like the affiliated directly. We had that What's on T-Formers section of the news where we just hit stuff pretty hard and fast without digging too deep into it. I kind of want to get back into doing something like that, because we only focus on a couple of news items a week, but there's other stuff that happens. Like specifically that, I don't know if anybody watched that Beast Wars commercial the Kingdom commercial that popped up on the internet. That was kind of interesting. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
I started to watch it and apparently stopped like right before Scary Cheetor. I need to go back and see the rest of that.
I've just not been crazy with Transformers ads in years. I don't know what ad agency they use, but all the commercials they do are kind of boring.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Another thing that Transformers Monopoly set popped up. Did anybody look at that? That's new.
I'd be interested in buying that.
So what I found is that Monopoly sets are really hit and miss. So, the ones produced by Hasbro, remember that company back in 2017 at HasCon was showing off their super premium Monopoly set.
Yeah, I bought it.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that. $500. Dang. You do buy everything.
I got it. No, you can get it for like $350. But
still pretty expensive.
It has Unicron in it. In the background.
My buddy Dusty came over a couple weekends ago, and we were talking about the Marvel set. Both of them are on the shelf at the same time. His has like really nice little minis, and mine has like little circular discs. So these things are like hit and miss. I didn't really dig too much into that Monopoly set, but I just don't really care about playing Transformers Monopoly. But I probably should pick it up. Didn't they do another Monopoly set years and years ago?
Yeah, I have that one. I'd never opened it. I bought it just for the just to keep it in packaging, really.
Yeah, I should look that up. Maybe I'll add that to my search list. Other than that, was there anything worth talking about that popped up? Not really. I mean, we have one big item that we're going to talk about. It's going to take up probably at least a few minutes of the show, but if not, let's just go ahead and talk about it. John, you there? You hanging around?
Yes, Brian. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. So you are the one who brought this to my attention. In fact, if you look at the album art for the show, it's you.
Oh.
Did you see the album art for this week?
No, I haven't had a chance.
literally your
Brian.
tweet.
Oh, Brian. My off topic is wrestling with the terrible website that my company acquired.
Oh, no.
Yes, that's other nerdery that we don't need to get into. But all I can say is update your WordPress, people.
Oh, God,
if your website's WordPress based, update it. It's like treat it like an app.
Yeah,
Treat
you
it
have
like an
to.
app. Yeah. The world didn't stop in 2015. Anyway, Unicron. You want me to just kind of like take it?
Take it and we'll bounce off. You're the one I think who has the hottest of the hot takes on this.
Okay. All right. Okay. I would prefer to say I have a very level, even keeled, calm tone to very fair criticisms of Unicron. So
I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names. I don't even know if he listens anymore. But a friend of ours messaged me just to share his thoughts on this. He's like, "Hey, are you guys going to talk about this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to talk about this."
All right.
He was very heated.
Rock and roll, baby. Okay, so Unicron started to ship from the factory probably two and a half weeks ago, and Robot Kingdom posted their picture of their initial, or maybe all of their shipments. So we saw it palletized and everything, and they were unpacking their pallets and stuff. And so we expected within days fan reviews and pictures from buyers and such. Took a little bit longer than anticipated. I think I've heard rumblings that there was a bit of an embargo until February the 8th. And on February the 8th, YouTube videos started to drop and the photos started to drop, and here it comes. And unfortunately, just a little bit before we actually saw these fan reviews, we started to get images of Unicron itself. And final product may vary, apparently, from the pictures and the images that we have been looking at and that are still up on the HasLab site. So there are, I would say, two main contentions here. And they're both related to his mouth, actually, in both modes. So, and this apparently, the first one I'm going to talk about apparently happened early in the process. Nobody really caught it, or I think when people saw pictures of this, they assumed what we're looking at is prototypes and test shots and things like that they're working on. But it carried through to the final, and that is his maw, or his mouth in planet mode. The inner part of it, from the teeth in, the part that's the planet part, is blue like the rest of his planet's surface. When we know that Unicron's mouth, his teeth, everything, basically that center like circular area in planet mode is orange. But on HasLab Unicron, it's not. It's blue. And so, some people will tell you like it makes the teeth more pronounced. Technically true. That is also like not Unicron. And again, I want to remind everybody this is a $600 toy, and Hasbro's own words, they called it a dream project. That if we all banded together to make this happen one time only, we can make the dream reality. And apparently now we have a blue maw in planet mode, which is very obviously not accurate. Okay. And
they got it right on the prototype.
And they got it right on the prototype. They got it right everywhere.
Right on.
They got it right everywhere.
What we thought we were going to get.
Yes. Correct. And that's also, again, I would argue that is like, you got to make that happen. Because this is $600 Unicron. He's supposed to be Ultimate Unicron. And whether or not, like, objectively or in a vacuum, it looks okay, it's not Unicron. It's very inaccurate considering what we're looking at here.
You want my hot take?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh,
doesn't
Brian,
bother
get
me.
out of here.
Doesn't
Show's
bother
over.
me.
Get him out of here. I think my point is, though, again, this is a $600 Unicron. We were shown a very specific product that we were told, again, if thousands of people back this, we're going to get this dream toy. And this is your one-time shot at getting it. And we were never told there was going to be noticeable differences. They never said that in a hype video. They never said that in a blog update. And they haven't said anything yet. And they probably won't say anything either. I'll be surprised if they say anything about this stuff. They might if they get enough flack on Twitter. But the other thing, so we've got the Blue Maw in planet mode. And now the other thing, which is, I think actually you could argue it's worse just from the fact that 99% of buyers are going to keep Unicron in robot mode 99% of the time. So Unicron's lower teeth are blue. They're unpainted, which results in robot mode. Unicron's top teeth are silver, like his face, but his bottom teeth are unpainted blue, like big chunks of his body. So he has miscolored teeth in robot mode. And the only way to get around that is to just keep his mouth shut, like completely shut, or you immediately see this dude's got blue teeth.
It looks terrible.
That one is silly.
It looks bad. It looks
bad. And
yeah, that one looks bad.
That one would be
whoever okayed this or whoever signed off on the final prototype before production, if this was even apparent at that point, like, they need to fix this. We didn't
Too late.
spend $100.
Yeah, very much too late.
here's a
spend-
silver Sharpie. Congratulations.
$150. We spent, $600. And if you bought two like me
And waited a year and a half.
and waited a year and a half, so we gave you our money so you could put that in a bank and earn interest on that. It needs to be fixed or at least addressed. This is not something they can go silent on. They need to somehow, and I understand they're already made, so probably sending out a replacement maul is not an option, especially because it's
Here's
got
a
all the
screwdriver
gears.
and a bunch of plastic
Especially
shards.
since they were made to order.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, something.
Nothing.
Like-
Nothing they can. If you're that upset about this, nothing they can do is going to make it right.
No.
No, but saying, at least acknowledging it and saying, "Hey, we're sorry. Here's $50 to Hasbro Pulse or something." This is not a
Here's another free year of Hasbro Pulse Premium.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get it anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, so with the mouth, with the open Unicron head, should the teeth just be silver, or that whole chunk that they're on, like the gum part?
technically that whole chunk in the prototype was painted silver.
So I mean, obviously, this is not an excuse for it, because there's no excuse for it. But at the very least, that should be pretty easy to paint. You can mask off the stuff around it pretty easy and fix it in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. That is easy to fix yourself on the $600 toy that you paid for 18 months ago.
That bothers me more.
Yeah.
That bothers me more than the other piece. Sorry, I jumped on your way, Don.
That's okay. I'm just going to say that I am disappointed in these because, as John and Diecast have said, we have put in a lot of money. And if this was a lesser figure, we would expect something to slip through the cracks because they're mass produced. They can't oversee everything, and we would expect this. This is a crowdfunded specific project for a specific market that the oversight that they had in place should have caught this if it was in place. I don't know, as Diecast said, they have to address this if for no other reason, because this is going to cause an issue with any future HasLab offerings, because people are going to wonder, well, we're going to get XYZ. Let's say we're going to get the flag. Okay, the flag's the next offering. Okay, is the flag going to be the right shape? Is it going to be the right kind of aircraft carrier? Is it going to have the right decals? Oh, look, the number is 23 and not whatever number is supposed to be. And you can't fix the number, or, it doesn't come with keel haul. It comes with what's his face, who's the wrong Joe, or whatever the case may be. And so it's like this, if they don't get in front of this and address it to their collector community, again, if this was a cheaper toy, they could say there was some production issues. We could not change them at this point. I understand that. But this is a $700 toy to a very specific market who was expecting the accuracy they showed in the prototypes. They need to address this, if not just for our benefit and to avoid our cognitive dissonance against any future offerings. They got to protect their own butts on their offerings to other fandoms, because they're going to say, well, hey, this is great. I would back this. Look what they did to Unicron. And it's going to come back and haunt them.
Hey, Don.
Don's right, because the first thing I started thinking of when I saw these, final pictures of the actual production pieces, I thought, great. I backed the HasLab, Star Wars ship, the Razor Crest, and I'm like, well, what's that going to come out like? Why am I doing this? Like, it would be different if this was a prototype of a toy that we didn't put money on and it went to the shelf and we saw these pictures and we can choose to buy or not to buy. This is something we already purchased, so the prototype should have matched the final, other than color tweaking. But this is not a color tweak. This is like, obvious mistake is the way I'm looking at it.
I have some thoughts around it, but Don, I want to follow up on the question, something that Don said. And Don, if you didn't mean this, I apologize. You said that the fans would have cognitive dissonance about this.
Well, regret.
What do you mean by that?
I meant like they're going to regret buying it now, because they were going to buy. I guess buyer's remorse would have been a better term to use. But they're going to look at, I've been waiting for this figure. I spent this much money. I liked what I saw. And now we've got something that in both modes is a major visual detracting point, no matter which mode you have it displayed in. I mean, the best we can hope for, like Soundwave's bandana at BotCon, is to get a pair of silver Invisalign to stick over his teeth.
So, Don, actually, the reason I asked is, I do legitimately have cognitive dissonance about this. That's a great way to describe my feeling. On one hand, I strongly believe that, these things are minor and it doesn't really matter. But then on the other hand, it's $600 and they should do better. Mm-hmm. John, I got a couple thoughts, but do you want to talk about the slugs before I want to talk? If you can get to those before we get to that.
Sure, the Unicron scale figures.
Yeah,
our favorite gimmick from 2020. I'm not sure why we're doing this, but anyway, I heard somebody say, "Hey, they're cool because they're the size of a grain of rice and they make Unicron look big." You put anything next to Unicron, he's going to look big. Like, that's how, I don't know if I need like stuff I can instantly lose. And it's on scale anyway. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so here's the thing with those guys. This is another, I'm not going to call it a bait and switch. I'm not going to put words that imply intention or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, again, you can go to the HasLab page for Unicron, and you can see a picture of the minifigure, I'll call it just a minifigure, of Galvatron that was supposed to be, that was what this ended up being. But it started off as a very tiny Galvatron. There's a picture of it. And he's got a couple little paint apps on him. And he's very clearly Galvatron from Titan's Return. I think he went back from
yeah.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Headmaster Galvatron. So very clearly him. Silver legs, purple body, orange cannon. Okay. He was also at that time significantly bigger. He was roughly the size of a Headmaster, give or take, about an inch tall or so. Well, what he morphed into, what that concept morphed into, again, without like explicitly telling us this in a blog update, one of your 5 updates to the buyers, they went from like this roughly Headmaster minifigure with paint apps to something that's about the size of a grain of rice or a piece of Cheerio that looks like, a melted popsicle. It's barely, like Galvatron specifically is just barely identifiable as Galvatron. He looks like a melted Galvatron.
I would honestly think I would honestly think that he was either Omega Supreme with a cannon, or maybe Scourge.
It's like a fruit snack.
It does look like a fruit snack.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It has as much details as a fruit snack.
Mm-hmm. Now I'll give them credit. The Rodimus is actually shockingly okay. Like the mold, like he came out of the mold. Okay, you can identify him as Rodimus next to this blob.
I didn't see that one. I'll look it up.
He's okay. I mean, he's fine. He's also, again, though, like, and maybe somebody will correct me, maybe a listener will correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember the paragraph in an update to the buyers saying like, "Hey, we radically changed our concept here, and you're going to get something. Here's what you're going to get." And I sure didn't see them swap out pictures on the HasLab page for like actual product. They haven't bothered to do that, which they could because this is done. So yeah, that's the third strike. That's literally, and I think comparatively, a small thing. But there was a time about a year ago where everybody was upset that Unicron had too many abs. And that was like the egregious error with HasLab Unicron. I don't think anybody's talking about that now.
And something I want to bring up, Brian, is anytime this happens with a crowdfunding situation, we're paying for a figure that is supposed to be meeting a specific set of parameters. And while we are getting 95% of those parameters met, the 5% that's not being met are stuff that we don't understand why it was allowed to proceed. But we have to be careful between, yes, we paid this much and we expected to get what we got, versus people outside the fandom saying that, oh, it wasn't 100% perfect. We're not whining about being those of us that could afford it. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to get across. We're not trying to be whiny little crybabies because not every single micrometer is exactly the way it's not meeting our mental image. We're upset because it's not meeting the photos that we were sold this bill of goods on.
And I guess to that, I'm not making excuses because, it's not our place to make excuses for this. Two, I totally understand why people are upset about these things. We were expecting it, but for me personally, I don't have that attention to detail. I don't care usually so much. I think the part of this does look silly, but I'm actually more interested in what the failure is. And I'm going to I really love talking corporate stuff. And I will completely say, though, this is coming from the retailer perspective, corporate life from a retailer and not from a manufacturer. And I do understand that things are different. But whenever you take on a project where you're going to spend money in corporate land, and this is a project where you spend money, you always have to get accounting involved. And anytime in a project, I've had to do that, and you have to account for how much something's going to cost, what are the cost savings that you're going to get from it, what are you going to, if you're going to make money from it, what does that look like? And the thing that always happens is you're always wrong.
I'm going to get very angry. I'm going to get very angry.
You're never going to be right. You're always
I'm
going to
gonna
be
get
wrong.
very angry if you're going to say this was a cost savings measure that they had to do. That would make me blow my head off. Like that's unacceptable.
At some point, it is. I mean, it's got to be. I mean,
No, because they showed us a prototype that way.
a prototype is not the finished item. It's not even close to the finished item.
I don't care.
here's the
It would be
thing.
acceptable on a normal production figure that I didn't put money down or I didn't pay.
Oh, I'm not
full.
no. I'm not forgiving it. I am not forgiving that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there should absolutely not be cost-cutting measures on a made-to-order Kickstarter funded project.
Yeah, somewhere something ended up costing too much because it took too long to do something. The prices shifted because of COVID. Who knows what? But something happened, and they're not going to lose money on this.
Lots of companies will take a loss on a figure because they've already promised a certain price. I've seen this with electronics companies, everything, but at least to get the product out there.
Can you cite me an example of that?
Reputation that, on
Can you
the
cite
up
me an
and up.
example? Nope. So I call BS.
I don't have
I
anything
can
off
give
the top
you-
of my head, but
I can
there's like
tell you
a lot of times when Google,
that happens, definitely happens.
yeah, when Google puts out a price that's inaccurate, they honor that price and then they raise it later. Or there was a product that Google was making that people pre-ordered and then they decided they were going to cancel the product. They still gave the product to the people that pre-ordered it.
Yeah, that's Google.
I mean, but it's a large company. Just
Google has
like
more money than
Hasbro's
God.
a large company too.
Hasbro, Google's huge. Hasbro big. I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying it's the right thing. But like Hasbro's they're not going to take a loss on these things.
I'm saying if Hasbro comes out and says, well, it was a cost-cutting measure
they won't
and
say
we
it.
had to do it, I am done.
But
Done
they
with
won't.
Hasbro.
They won't say
never
that.
gonna
But the
say
things they will say, if you run them through Google Translate several times, it will come out. It's a cost cutting measure.
Yeah, it's the fact that we gave them the money that they were asking for. We didn't haggle. We didn't Dononomics it on their end. They asked, we will give you this product if you give us this much money.
If
And
I'm
we did.
done, you're right.
And we did not get what we were promised, and cost cutting should not have come into play unless something radically behind the scenes completely changed. And then they should have made us aware of that. Like, this XYZ catastrophically happened. We can still give you this figure for what you paid, but we're going to have to do this because this happened.
So
Exactly. It's like buying a house and you're saying, I'm going to pay $300,000 for this house. It's going to have hardwood floors. And when you pay for the house, the $300,000, you walk in, you open the door and there's carpet everywhere. They're like, what happened to my hardwood floors? And they're like, well, it was a cost cutting measure. So we had to. No, if you signed up for that house at $300,000,
you're under
I was going to get hardwood floors.
Those aren't analogous.
Where's my hardwood floors?
Those aren't analogous. So when you buy a house like that, you're under contract for certain things. This was not a contract. This was.
I believe it is. I believe
not.
it's a contract.
So Jacob and Lucia, patron and friend of the show, had the best take on this in the chat, and I'm just going to read it what he said because this is actually accurate. This is dead on. I think it's silly to give a giant corporation like Hasbro money for quote unquote crowdfunding on their own website where they can't even be held responsible.
Yep.
Fact.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do have a question. Do you remember any of these problems with the sail barge, or has there been any other HasLabs that have actually gone through and
The sail barge was effectively perfect.
Is there any other project?
They wouldn't dare do this to Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans would eat them alive.
No. Yeah, there's too many of them.
Like, I know we have the sail barge, we have Unicron, we have the Sentinel, which hasn't shipped yet.
The Sentinel is even more of like very clearly could be a mass retail release They just kind of put it in HasLab, but that thing's totally. You could just release that. I mean, that's totally just a
Sentinels have
high-end normal toy.
Sentinels have enough variations over the years too, where I think they could get away with certain inaccuracies.
Yeah,
And then, like I said, the Razor Crest, I'm sorry I backed it right now. Maybe it'll be perfect. Maybe it won't have any of these issues, but I don't know. This is just really off-putting for me.
So again, I'm Mr. Corporate. I come from the corporate world. It's what I've done for the last 2 decades of my life. But Hasbro's, their first responsibility is not to you; it's to their investors. They're not going to take a loss intentionally on something if they can help it. And that doesn't mean they can't take a loss. Like people, things don't make money a lot of times, and people lose their job. But I think with this, they have enough control over it to where they're probably not. And these things are cost-cutting measures. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
I would rather think of this as mistakes or omissions than cost-cutting measures.
Santa Claus
would
real, and the Easter Bunny too, and Elvis is still alive.
Whatever helps you sleep better, Doug.
Well, real quick, hey Rob, did you want to say something? Then I have just one last thing to say.
Sure, just one thing, which is that we've been at this a long time. We know how things work, and when we are going into a store and looking at a $20 toy and it's not exactly what we wanted, and we have to look at it and go, okay, well, this didn't cost out. That's fine. With $600 in advance, I do not give a crap what the realities are at all. I'm glad I did not back this
buffer in this. Of course, if they had a huge buffer in this, it would have been an $800 toy. So there's only so much. Yeah, there's only so much they can do with that.
And I mean, they may have had a huge buffer, and 2020 was a series of disasters.
That's true.
And again, just that's none of that. As a consumer, none of that is my problem.
Yeah, I was going to say just a couple quick things. One, I am definitely aware of a vendor eating margin for a retailer. So, I don't know if they'll when you get your margins off, you eat it, because you're not going to go back to Walmart and say, I got to increase the price by 3 cents. That's not going to happen. So you eat that. So that dynamic exists. And the issue, though, is, as I hear you guys talk, is it really is the crowdfunding dynamic, right? So when you get into crowdfunding, that is a different relationship with your customer,
yes, sir,
than standard. I make Transformers, I post them on my website, they're $19.99, you take it or you leave it. When you get into the crowdfunding, everything you guys are saying, everything Brian's saying is true and possible. I think one possibility is that the factory sent them what's supposed to be a pre-production sample. They said, hey, these teeth are blue and this maw is blue. And the factory is like, oh, we've already started production.
Yeah.
They fib. That happens a lot too. They get ahead of it. So that's a possibility. But all that stuff is fine in the normal dynamic. Once you get into the crowdfunding, now you have a different relationship with your fans. And it's important to keep the fans happy, because this is part of the deal. Part of the deal now is that you are hyping this up, and you are asking the fans to go market this for free for you to raise, brand awareness, to have IGN post articles about it, to get the Transformers brand kind of up and hyped. And oh my God, people still pay. Well, people are willing to pay $600 for a character from 30 years ago. Transformers must be hot, right? So it's that kind of stuff. And then again, though, now you have a handshake agreement with the fans, is that I'm going to do everything I can to give you exactly what you want, because I'm dealing with the most hardcore and vocal of my fans. And that's the deal. They're going to, in theory, sing my praises and give me money 18 months in advance. And in return, I'm going to deliver what I said I was going to deliver. And it's a more intimate contract, if you will, between the two parties. If Hasbro's not built for that, and they still, say like, factory error, factory didn't tell the truth. We came in $50 over budget on each unit, can't do it. Like if they're still in that mode, but doing crowdfunding at the same time, it's not going to work. Like they have to get out of that game. Like you're not built for that game. So yeah, I think just the nature of how this was brought to market is a huge deal. And really that is why we're upset.
Yeah.
So it comes down to that.
And again, Hasbro's doing, this is not even a great example, but I'm going to mention it anyway. This is not analogous, but maybe this is what people are thinking. So my dog died. I mentioned it. I talk about it a lot. So I am getting a stuffed animal made in his likeness. I am working directly with the designer of that. They are sending me pictures, asking me questions, because they're making one of them. And it's going to be exactly like I want it. But with this, they're making 20,000 of them or whatever. Then what was the number? 13,000, 11,000?
Say 12.
Yeah, like the numbers are way different. They're trying to please, 13,000 people instead of, just me. It's just when you're dealing with something like this, it's just an entirely, different ball game. And again, I think this crowdfunding thing was a great idea maybe to begin with, but the reality of it is I think they should just dump HasLab. I really do.
Well, here's the thing I think, Brian, and I'm not trying to make the topic run long. It's just
we are. That's fine, Don. That's all we got.
But I think there's some life still in this. It still functions, I guess.
You got to say it with more raspy voice, though.
Yeah. If they're going to continue with HasLab, they're going to have to make sure. It's like you said, they would not have done this to the Star Wars fans. Rob, I think it was Rob that said that. The Star Wars fans are a very unique kind of fan. They would have absolutely crucified them in public and private.
And something else, sorry to interject on, but something I did think of after I was done talking is one big difference between the Star Wars things and Unicron is the fact that the Star Wars HasLab things have to meet with licensor approval.
Exactly.
And Unicron does not.
Because you're basically it's like we own Unicron and we're going to make it. That's it. Versus going to Lucas or whoever. It's like Disney says, we've got this. You need to, and then the oversight, basically, like you were saying, wasn't there. But if they're going to continue with HasLab, they're going to have to either not keep it on Hasbro and go to a source that has some kind of third-party arbitration, which they probably won't because that would give too much power away over their own designs, or they're going to have I'm just tossing out a name here. Let's say they make Ben Yee, because we all know Ben, we all love Ben, everybody loves Ben. Ben's a great guy.
I can't stand him. I can't stand Ben Yee.
But let's say he is like him and McFeely are working together, and they are Hasbro's official. Did we get this right, guys? And they would say, hey, Chris and Ben would say, yeah, you got it right, but change this stuff. There's not going to be that person, but there needs to be. If Transformers is not going to get the same attention to detail because there's no licensor to get approval from, who's going to back any future projects?
I mean, in theory, that's what the prototype that Diecast was talking about is supposed to be for. And did we get it right is people giving them money to make that. I mean, but it's just, it didn't work out.
I do want to say on a positive note, because I want to be a little bit positive because I am angry, that...
And you bought 2 of them.
Yes. They got the orange better. It looks, at least to me, it looks like from the final production pieces that the orange is more orange and less yellow. So I will give them credit. And if they only would have kept the mall orange, the full thing, like it's supposed to be, and the lower teeth were the same color as the upper teeth, I would be singing its praises right now. And I don't think, for $575 when I backed this, I knew the engineering wasn't great. Like, yeah, it's a shelf warmer. It's basically what it is. But it looks really good in both modes, planet and robot. So that's why I said, yes, I want to pay this. But now, both modes, there's a flaw. Do I really want it displayed like that in my house? I don't know. But I just wanted to say at least, yeah, and to go on Rob's point, and he's totally right about the licensor, if Star Wars fans were upset about this, and this was a Star Wars product, Disney would probably be like, hey, you guys need to make this right. Or, maybe we pull the license from you. And you're absolutely right. Transformers, there's no one. So they can do whatever they want with Transformers, and they don't have to worry about getting a license pulled because they own the license.
Sorry, I'm talking about how great Ben Yee is in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. Yeah, okay. So any other thoughts around this?
I was just going to add that, like, we've covered it in depth. Like, we've seen the pictures. This is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you pay for it, this is what you're getting. So, like, just use this as an example next time you think about backing one of these projects.
Yep. And if you didn't, and this bothers you that much, you dodged a bullet. I have to say I am pretty happy that this doesn't bother me, but I absolutely, positively understand why it bothers other people.
I'm exactly the same way, and I had canceled my pre-order, so
yeah.
It's really not an issue for me.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump to what we got this week. Who wants to go first?
Don raised his hand.
Don.
Yeah, I will, because I've got like nothing, hardly. I mentioned her last week. I didn't have it to show. I got Plasmane, the Ghostbuster pony crossover figure.
Oh, I need that. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, it's I got it from I had my $5 coupon at GameStop, so it was like $7. So I got her to go with the Optimus Prime. I got that last week. Only other thing I found this week was I got one of the last ones, retro carded Cobra Commander, just because it looks
that's
really
what,
nice.
Wave 1 or Wave 2? I can't remember.
I don't know. It's G.I. Joe. I'm barely keeping up with them. It's Cobra Commander. It looks good. It'll go on the same shelf as my statue.
When I was looking for Studio Series stuff at my local Walmart, I saw that they had completely restocked G.I. Joe, and they had that wave, and the pegs were full of them.
Yeah. The what I saw on the hook at the same time was this lot of Snake Eyes, that Commander, and
Storm Shadow, probably.
No, there's no Storm Shadow.
The Scarlet or Baroness?
No. Actually, no, neither one. It was all Cobra Commanders and Snake Eyes. Before that, I saw
wait.
Destro.
Wait. Blade is saying it's Wave 3.
Okay, because before that,
I don't have that. I skipped that, and I don't have those figures. Dang it!
Okay, because the only thing I saw before then was Destro Roadblock Wave with those Scarlets.
I just totally thought that I had those figures because, of course, I have how many Cobra Commanders? Like 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Crap.
I mean, the one thing I wish is if they do classified with this. Again, I'm not trying to be a G1 or G.I. Joe kind of thing.
But you are.
But it's just. But I mean, it's just that looks like the way Cobra Commander should. The ones they've released for classified, they're the modern version, which I totally understand why they're trying to make it a little more not quite as cartoony, but it also to me doesn't look right. But
yeah, the classified sculpts are
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like one of them is close, and the other version is like he's wearing like that table runner is like his chest dressing or something. It's like Just give me a classic Cobra Commander, and I'll make a little honorary Chris Lattice shelf or something. But yeah, that's it. I mean, we ain't got jack locally.
Yeah. Manny Care is like, Brian, this wave is direct repaints of old 25th anniversary figures. I'm like, yeah, but I still want them, even though I don't have them. I feel so bad, though, that I didn't realize that those were the same figures. Crap. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Blade is educating folks here. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Baroness are Wave 1. Destro, Roadblock, and Scarlet are Wave 2. Cobra Commander, ADJ, and a repack of Snake Eyes is Wave 3. Potentially a repack. Okay, who else got something?
I got a few things.
Cool.
Okay, first up, I got, I think I may have mentioned this last week, but I think I mentioned the Super Gundam I got from the same line. I got a whole box of that Gundam G-Frame candy toy series. They're really nice little figures. When you buy them individually, instead of like one figure that you have to assemble, you get the armor and an unarticulated frame in one box, and the second box has a fully articulated frame that you then attach the armor to get the full figure. It's a really nice design, but very, very flexible. Maybe not as good as the Gundam line I'm getting these to go with from back around like 2005. Maybe not as articulated as the best of those, but still, I paid $30 for a box of like 5 2-packs, 5 matching boxes of stuff. So that's not bad. I'm pretty happy with them, and I'm going to send the spares off to Chris soon. Other thing I got was thanks to Chris. Actually, they had the Mega Constructs Roton and Battle Cat set on Amazon for like $17. So I hadn't gotten any of the Masters of the Universe Mega Construct stuff yet, and just always had a soft spot for Battle Armor He-Man, because that's like one of the ones I got as a kid as a treat. So it just kind of stuck in my mind. And the last thing I got is actually on topic, which is Studio Series 86 Blur, and that is a really nice looking figure, and I like it, and I much prefer handling the Titans Return mold. I never got the Legends version, so this one looks hands down better. It is a really nice looking toy. I like how it transforms it, and it's a good enough figure, but I just handling Titans Return Blur as a mold is just so much more pleasant to me. Which it's good then that there's like 2 or 3 other figures that use that as a base. So that's, I'm never going to be rid of that, because I don't see them making a new Brainstorm mold or new Nautica anytime soon. So that's, yeah. So
or Headmaster RC.
Yeah, or Headmaster RC. So yeah, so I'll get to live with that Blur mold that I like so much, and still have this, which, like I said, just does look a lot more like Blur. So I'm pretty happy with it. Amazon had it for about retail, and now I just have to dig up Cup and Jazz. So, and that's
good luck finding Cup.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll dig it up eventually, but nothing yet. But that, I'm pretty sure, is everything I've gotten this week.
Cool. Who else?
I got some stuff.
Okay, what'd you get?
Like Rob, I also got a Blur. I think his face is a little bit too long, but other than that, he looks good. Obviously, I didn't take him out of package because they're still in the box. And I got Cup. They both shipped from Amazon at our affiliate link, tfradio.net/Amazon.
All right.
But Jazz didn't ship yet. So I guess they're
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, someone said that they may be getting these in full cases of each character, so they may have not gotten Jazz yet.
Chris mentioned that last week, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty good theory. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that would make sense why I only got 2 of the 3.
Wait, what was Chris's theory?
That the figures are shipping in solid cases.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. So I got Kingdom Warpath this week.
What do you think?
And I'm not crazy about some of the plastic colors on him, but that's the only complaint I have with him. Like, I love this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the legs?
I'm fine with the legs. Actually, I do have one complaint though. I hate his shield.
The shield,
shield piece.
The shield
there is nowhere that it looks good on robot mode. I mean, it's necessary to tie the tank mode together, and it looks great there, but there is nothing to do with it in robot mode. I do not like it. But overall, outstanding little warpath. I'm very happy with it. And I got some Marvel Legends. So I got Jocasta.
Oh, nice.
I'm going with some classic Avengers. I got Falcon as well.
What is that in a new wave?
Yeah, this is the Joe Fixit wave.
Oh, I need that. Yeah.
Falcon's wings are translucent for some reason, and I am not a fan of that at all.
Does he have a red wing?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the same wave as Thunderstrike.
I saw Thunderstrike. That's the only one I saw because nobody wanted it.
And Go ahead, Don. Oh, Don's already muted. And I got Kang the Conqueror because he's Kang the Conqueror.
I don't know if I have Kang or not. I feel like I have to have it, but I don't know that I own it. But I did see it at the store.
Yeah. And I got Thunderstrike. So, I do not like the fact that they molded Thunderstrike with like a screaming face.
Yeah, that's not Eric. That's not, because I thought for sure I saw a prototype picture where he had a different head that could be swapped out, but I couldn't find that picture.
I wish that would have been a part of the release, but it's not.
Yeah, because
it's weird because like his screaming face, they molded detail clear back to his tonsils. It's a little it's a little unsettling.
Yeah,
my Kang.
And
go ahead, Don.
Seeing the sad thing is, again, I hate sounding like a nitpicky fanboy, but I'm going to be in a second. Eric is left-handed, but he can't really hold the mace in the left hand, even if you use the strap. So you can't even really have him hold the mace because he's left-handed. So it's kind of like it's so close, but it's
Cheesy Patty is saying that Joe Fixit is a modified Kingpin. I didn't realize that.
Sharon Engineering.
Yeah,
it may have some of the same parts, but I'm pretty sure that at least the torso is different. I'm uncertain. Kingpin is way over there.
Yeah. So I just want to point out my Kang was delivered on November 2nd. So I do have Kang. So all is well.
And Thunderstrike appears to have the same double jointed knees as everybody else. I don't know if mine's an outlier, but they are fused below the knee joint.
Oh, he had surgery.
Apparently, yeah, I tried, and they are absolutely fused on that lower knee joint. Like they do. You got the double bend on?
That's the best. I mean, that's the best I can. Like here is regular. Sorry, like that, and then
that's all the knee joint I got on mine. Like that joint below the knee is fused on both legs.
Okay, so apparently I do have a little bit more range of motion because he can do the if I wanted to pose him from the cover of issue 1 and I had a stand that would fit, I could kind of do the thing from issue 1 where he's leaping at the reader through the holofoil, but that's so apparently mine is a little bit better than yours anyway.
It's a shame that he did not come with a blood axe to drive him crazy. But I'm not expecting another release with extra accessories or a new head because I think with me and Dawn, they've hit 100% market saturation on Thunderstrike.
Yeah, I just
Triplet would want it.
It's just sort of amazing that they gave him the mace and the mace was the mace and the extra hand was the only thing included, and I just can't see why they couldn't have included the axe, a different head. I don't know. It just seems like there was room in the parts load for a little more something. Because I sold the Joe Fixit head for $10 just to help recover the cost of Thunderstrike, but it's like You could have done add something, little something anyway.
Yeah.
But I got him, so I'll be happy.
But
Just need Jack Hearts now.
Yeah. Well, so that leaves me 2 arms short of a Joe Fixit figure, and I am not buying those video game Captain America and Iron Man figures. I'm not doing it. So I ordered the arms through eBay a while ago. But so I got that really nice War Machine, and I got a Thunderstrike now. So I just need a good new U.S. agent to have my holy trinity of B-list Avengers characters. And Hasbro Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out in about 5 weeks.
I thought we had a U.S. agent in Marvel Legends already.
An old one.
Yeah, from
was it the Toy Biz one?
There's a Toys. I think there's a Toys Biz one. Yeah.
I don't know, but if they did U.S. agent, it was like 11 or 12 years ago.
It's old.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll run through mine. So I also got Blur and Cup from Amazon. There's more origami that goes into these than I expected when it comes to transformations. But both modes are really nice. Cup is a very small pickup, but he looks good. Blur is nice. I kind of wish that it didn't have the universal joint in the arm. That bugs me a little bit, and getting it to the transformation, I had to look at it and think through it a couple times to get
where his forearm rotates around.
Yeah, that bugged me a little bit, but otherwise it's really nice. It's not as good as the Titans Return or whatever it was that came out, but it's colors on it are great. Same thing for Cup. I'm going to do it my off topic next because I actually now have a staging area that I put under my desk so I can just reach for stuff easily. My favorite thing I think I got all week though is the Play School Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh yeah.
He it's cheesy, but I mean his arms move, his wrists move, but the big thing is he has that face changing gimmick where you press a button on the head and it flips. It has Happy Stay Puft and Angry Stay Puft, so it's nice. I like that. I was very happy to find it. Actually, Kim was busy at work, and I called her. I'm like, Kim, I found the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Do I need to get another one for the kids? And she hung up on me because she was actually working. So, yeah, but I did not get the kids a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They just won't see this one. So, I have anything else? Oh, yeah, so, I got the Jada G.I. Joe figures. It's funny that the Awe Striker is what's on the art, but not included in the set. Never occurred to me. It comes with a vamp, a snowcat, and a hiss.
I wonder if they did that, Brian, because the All Striker is out in the other Joe commemorative line, and they were trying to get for some synergy.
I mean, since that's a licensed item, I doubt it.
Okay.
I mean, if it was Hasbro doing it, maybe Hasbro was like, hey, cross promote this, throw that art in there, but I doubt it. But it's possible.
It's not the same art assets from the All Striker box, is it?
It might be, actually. I need to go back and look. So I got the Headmasters reissues. I found those. I'm not opening them because I don't care enough to. I saw
those and passed on them because I just don't care.
I love the fake boxes. I genuinely do.
Yeah. Well, my friend Fred found a set close to where he lives, and all he really wanted was the hard head. And he said there were some paint differences.
They are different.
Yeah, other than just the different heads, there's some actual paint differences in the robot modes versus the Titans Return one. So there are some visual differences other than just, because I thought it was just the box at first, but he said, nice, sent me a picture. There's some definite visual differences.
Yeah, the decos are unique. They do not actually match either the Titans Return or Legends releases of the figures.
Yeah, they're new. And my last thing is I've been going through, I'm not an Optimus Prime collector, but I have been going through buying G1 Optimuses, I guess G1 varieties, meaning like Power Master Prime, Super Jinrai, G2 Optimus, the Laser Rod. I guess it's varying too because I got the Machine Wars, but I'll have them in like mint and box or mint and silk box for display once my office is up. I got a G1 Optimus. It's actually my first non-junker legit G1 Optimus Prime. I can't tell you how many versions of this mold that I have, but they are all either G2 or reissues. So I have one that's a junker, not counting Ultra Magnus, of course. This one, the box is rough, which I'm fine with that. I think it makes it look cooler on the shelf because there are so many knockoffs out there that you can get a pristine G1 Optimus Prime in the box for like $25. So one flap is completely torn off. So it'll be butted up against the wall on its left side when I display it. Like a lot of Optimuses, it was missing 2 missiles. The only thing it's missing. The trailer looks great, except that one of the pegs is broken. I may actually have a replacement trailer in a box somewhere that's vintage. I was actually struck at how nice the cab is. This is one of the 1984 releases. The cab is in excellent condition. Shockingly so. It's not in such nice condition that I think that it's brand new, but it's shockingly nice for being 37 years old. It actually looks like it's been taken care of. The trailer's been taken care of except for the part where it's broken. So it's not like my childhood stuff. It's been in the bath and everything. So I've got it to look nice on the shelf. And maybe eventually I'll go after a couple of the other editions, like a pre-rub, maybe one that's got the metal plates or something. Maybe I'll go crazy someday and get a red-footed. There's a red-footed on eBay right now, but it's expensive. So, but that's what I got. So if we don't have anything else, tfradio.net/Amazon. Diecast mentioned that. You can get a lot of stuff. It helps us out. So please, if you're going to buy something, use our link. It is cheap. Also, if you might hear it, I don't know, I got a new puppy this week. We're trying to crate train him, and he is not happy with that. So he's cute. If you follow me on Twitter, it's pretty much all I've posted, or on Instagram, it's pretty much all I've posted in the last 4 or 5 days. I am trying to make him, he's very cute. Well, while he is cute, I'm going to try to make him like internet famous. As famous as a dog in, Central North Carolina is going to get. But yeah, again, tfradio.net/Amazon, buy some stuff. Of course, there's always our Patreon, which is the most direct hands-on way to help out. Patreon.com/tfradio. I want to thank our touched patrons. Got a new touch patron this week. Mighty Orbots, thank you so much. Also want to thank Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Cheesy Patty, talking to Cheesy Patty right now in the chat, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Jonathan James, Ness, Nathan Sampy, Joey Russell, Jason Hiley, Mike Mallory, Jason W. Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, and Spider Bob. Sean, Spider Bob, and I recorded the next episode of our History on the Fives podcast, which is a Patreon exclusive podcast. Had a lot of fun doing it. We actually ended up just chatting for like an hour and a half before we recorded. So if you have any interest in being on our History on the Fives podcast, all you got to do is sign up at the touched tier at patreon.com/tfradio, and you are eligible to be on. We now record that on Tuesdays at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, et cetera, et cetera. So, and all the folks there at the touch tier you can find at tfradio.net/credits. We're all over the place on the internet. Google us, you'll find us. All of our links are at tfradio.net. Just ask if you are listening on a podcast platform that lets you do a review, please leave us a review. It doesn't really do anything for the search algorithm for the most part on those places, but if somebody sees a nicely, highly reviewed podcast, they're more likely to listen, and we would appreciate your time. Just do it while you're listening to the show. It's super easy. I'm personally on Twitter at bkilby, on Instagram at Brian Kilby, and you can find my other podcasts and stuff at briankilby.com. I posted a new episode of our How Was Your Weekend podcast this weekend with Wendy. It was a lot of fun. We talked about moving, pets, and a lot of other things like that. Wendy just bought a house that's over 100 years old, and she's talking about like all the idiosyncrasies that houses like that entail. It's a fun conversation. I think we're going to record a new episode this weekend too, so that's a lot of fun. John, how do people get a hold of you?
That John D everywhere.
Sweet. Let's see here. Dawn.
I can reach on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4, EVR.
Cheesy Patty's like, I'm not smart enough for history. Ha! I laugh at that. You are more than smart enough for history. You are a valuable part of our Discord and our Patreon, so you should come on. Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. And you can see all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews.
Rob.
Well, first off, since Chris isn't here, you can follow him on Twitter at ChrisRTXV or Play with Photos. Playwithphotography.com is where he does all of his toy photography work, and he is hands down the best toy photographer I've ever known. You can check that out there. You can go to patreon.com/playwithphotos and throw him money so that he can continue to do this. I know he's trying to get some more equipment together to go with something he was sent for his birthday. So yeah, go help him out. Beyond that, if you want to if you want to check out what I'm doing, youtube.com/flailthroughs is my YouTube channel. I cover a free-to-play Gundam game called Gundam Battle Operation 2. Just came out for the PS5. Slight differences between the two versions, and they've managed to hash out most of the problems that caused for the first week of release. If you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, and you can throw money at me and I will do specific rounds with specific mobile suits, weapon configurations, color schemes, and all that. And the Amazon wish lists for me, tfradio.net/claylist, and for Chris, tfradio.net/chrislist.
Let's see here. Rob Springer's not here. Remember Rob Springer and at zonebase.org. In our Discord, Gus posted a picture of some Transformers Beast Wars characters from Kingdom, and there is a rhinoceros there. And I don't know if that is a picture of the new Rhinox or not. Does anybody know? I don't know the source of that picture.
I think it's the Thrilling 30, but I cannot guarantee it.
It probably is.
I haven't looked at that thing in ages.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's probably what it is. But hey, you should join us in our Discord. People post pictures randomly like that. Sometimes it's news, sometimes it's not. tfradio.net/Discord. It's a lot of fun. We have a great crew of people there. They're there all week chatting away. And of course, during our live streams, that's where we interact. tfradio.net/Discord. We'll see you next week. Okay, done recording there. Done recording here. We're not going to have a post show because I got to go. So,
okay.
So I'm going to stop recording there, but we'll give it a second. Yeah, it's probably Thrilling 30. It looks nice, though.
Yeah, Blade Raider says it is. So.
Yeah. Nicely painted one from Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the dog will not shut up.
We can't hear it at all.
Oh, good.
No.
Hold on. Do you hear that?
Yeah. But it's barely coming across.
Yeah. Okay. People watching live, I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream as soon as I log into my remote desktop to do that. So, blah, blah, blah. Let's say goodbye first this week to, let's say goodbye to Twitch. Yeah, there's Twitch. Goodbye, Twitch. You're easy to drop off. It doesn't require any extra work. And blah, blah, blah. What's doing? Okay. Let's say goodbye to, as my computer flickers, Facebook. And let's say goodbye to Periscope.
You have to say down Periscope.
Down Periscope. And I need to log in directly to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. It's been great. We'll see you later. Okay.